Alrighty. So I've been doing a little work on this today. I got the baby pretty well done. I did the wrinkle sort of fill in like they do on the sleeves and things. Since it's cloth, I did a very light dry brushing of some of this reddish rose color. And same with the lips. I don't think I want to do the lips as bright as the others. And I'm gonna call him done. Oh, I did shorten these as well by quite a bit. I grabbed them with the pliers very carefully, twisted until it broke the crazy glue seal, and then I had to kind of pry them out carefully without pulling too hard, otherwise it would pull a big chunk off. And then I cut them all same amount. As you can see, they're a bit shorter, which I think is more accurate to the originals, and it looks better. So yeah, there he is. I'm gonna call him done, and working on a couple of these others. So I just finished doing quite a bit of touch-ups on there. All I did was go over the brown with a straight burnt umber. Same brush as before. I just went again and again with the same brush, the brush width basically, pressing lightly, and just went over it. I had to do it a bunch of times because the color was quite thin, but it covered eventually, and now it looks close enough. I'm quite happy with it. So also I just finished doing the lines, the black lines, outlining each of those areas, and I'm not sure if I did that on camera or not, but I'm just about to do his sleeves with the black, so I figured I might as well start it up. I did a little bit of touch-ups on the back. I'm going to be cleaning this up a little bit, coming back with the orange, I think, and covering some of this black, because these white flowers and the white stems is pretty well in line with the others, but these black dots are not. So I think I'm going to just cover them with some orange flower motifs, and I think we'll be good to go with that. So yeah, almost done. It's really just a little bit left on the Joseph, and then we're going to be doing the painting on the front, which should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to that. So got my very thin trimmed down bristle brush again, and I occasionally have to clean it off by just washing it, just because it gets a little sticky. That's when it was getting bad the other day, was the further up the brush was just getting a little dry and crusty, and then it wasn't bending like I wanted it to. And it was late, and I was getting a little tired, so it wasn't working out so well. So what I'm going to do is just finish off the same kind of treatment as that on his sleeves, and yeah, he's getting really close to being done. So I think we can wrap this lesson or series or whatever you want to call this up pretty soon. I'm going to try to anyway. Getting a little more confident with this brush now that I have a feel for it. Yeah, getting better with it. Still a little tricky. Well, he's the only one with the totally open sleeve here. Everybody else has some kind of covering. Oh my goodness. As I just get confident, I get such a big glob. Completely forgot what I was doing. Eh, oh well. doing my best not to make it look like tiger stripes. I think the real trick is just the curving and the looping that they do. I think it'll be close enough to stand next to the rest. Just doing some super thin hair strokes to match the rest, but honestly, any color on there is going to look fine. It's going to look like it matches. As long as it's not solid. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead there. Alright, that's pretty well with it. Oh yeah, the face. So I might as well do the little red tinting that I did and show you how I did that. I could probably use another coat in a couple places, the red here and there, but he's pretty close. Alright, so let's show you what I did there. I'm going to get this cleaned first. See how that fills up. Alright, so for the cheeks, this is where it gets real tricky. You really only get one shot at it, so jeez, this is why I don't use the lids. Get it all over the threads, it's just going to be a mess. I should wait for that to dry. Otherwise it's going to make a huge mess. Alright, so this red is the permanent rose. And you just need the tiniest amount, so I don't even need to make a drip. I'm just going to put the smallest little bit on, and basically I'm just going to wash most of it off the brush and get the smallest little bit, get mostly clean water. And basically you can see what I did on the palette. It's going to be a really light stroking. You don't want it too wet or it's just going to bead up like that. So the biggest problem with this is getting the right consistency on the brush before you put it on. You can get away with washing a little off, but you have to be careful because you wash it off, you start to wet the acrylic underneath, and it gets to be a whole thing. Worst case, I paint the skin tone again, but I don't want to have to do that. So what you do is you just throw it down real quick, hope you get close, and then you use the brush as it dries to spread it out and clean it up. And as you can see, when it's wet, it gets a little beady, so you just dry it off, dry it off, dry it off. Spread the edge, try to get those drips before they turn into bubbles. So you can see how just if I come back at it with a dry brush, I can hit that rosiness and round it off without getting any of these thick drip parts. So just keep using the brush to take it away, take it away. If I have to, I can go and dip it in water and bring back just a wet brush. If you do it quick enough, you can keep it from turning into glops, but boy is it tricky. But if you're just looking for a tiny little bit of rosiness, you see how that worked. Little tinting. It's really tricky with acrylics though. I've not had always the best luck with that, but I find just that little trick of just working quickly, getting it wetter and wetter. When you want, dry it off, brush it, dry brush around the edge, and there you go, little rosy cheeks. So yeah, so now he matches her little rosy cheeks. I'm sure they did the same thing when they made the originals. And you could do with palms of the hands and stuff too, but I don't know, they didn't get to that detail here. So anyway, yeah, the bottom looks good though. I'm pretty happy with how it came out going over it. Wasn't too worried about the top edge of that black, but I did try my best to make that, you know, as straight as possible to match the straightness of that, which is not the straightest line in the world, but I'm sure I did it the same way. I just held it down. I took the hairbrush and just went one little section at a time, pulling down straight, keeping the brush moving in the direction of it, the stroke, and I think it worked. All right, let's get the last of this finished, and boy, oh boy, we are going to be ready for a little painting. Okay, so what I need to do with this is the same color as before, so that is the burnt. I should be able to get away with just the littlest bit. Of course, I spilled or had a wet finger, touched the back of some part, probably when I did the touch up on the little bug there. So I'm just going to try to glop it on in one coat so I don't have to do this again. And this part's quite visible, so I'd like to make that coverage clean. All right, that's close enough. That I'm not worried about yet. I can always come back and touch up the edges a little later on. All right, that's good, that's good. Oh, the front. I forgot to do the line around his neck and the little bit of white underneath the collar to match that. So let's get that done. So many little things that I keep forgetting, but really worth it in the end. All right, let's go to white. What do I need for that? This one should do. So close to finished. I can feel it. All right, neck. I mean, if I want to cheat the thickness of that back a little bit, I can just cover. Of course, I keep doing this thing where I hold it the wrong way. Guessing that goes all the way around. Did it again. Touched it wet. Yeah, I switched to the other brush. This one is not thin enough to get into that little bit. Close enough. It's going to get covered with black. Okay. Ooh, I better not suspend it. Let's see. Trying not to rub it against the table too. Can cheat a line a little bit by making it a little thicker. Looks like they do a double line under the white. All right, I think we're going to be diminishing returns if I keep going. So a little red, white's done. Yeah, I think that's it for that part. A little orange on the back. Might come back to that. Okay, I'm gonna pull up some of the other paintings, have them in the back so I can get ideas. Some of them have pretty different tints across them, but I think I'm gonna go with something that matches this one. I have no idea if I'm gonna do an animal or a little man. Maybe a little shepherd, very small, and a little sheep. I think sheep will be a good idea. The other ones have birds and a couple of horses, and one has a little man. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any rules. I've seen other ones with sheeps and rabbits and things. So we're going to start with the sky. Procedural, layered painting style. You start in the back and work your way forward. Let's see if we can pop this out. I don't know how far I'm going to get right now, but I'm going to try in the next 10 minutes. So we need some cyans. We need a good... Sorry, kitty. I think I have this turquoise out already. Deep turquoise is the name of it. And then I'm going to need some yellows and greens, maybe a little lavender. Pretty good set. Here's my green. Out already, but I do have an emerald in this other type, so I should have enough to get going. Let's see what we can do on lose my other palette? There it is. Okay, I want to use a dry palette. Alright, let's get a little colors on there and see what we can do. Just going to put them all next to each other, different colors that match, and then somewhere in between for the mixes. Oh, there's the green. Sap green. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Why are they all cadmium? Seriously. Cadmium yellow pale, cadmium yellow deep. Anyway, this orange one I like a lot. It's a little orangey, more sunflower yellow. Save the reds. I'm gonna see if I can do at least the sky and the mountains. I'm definitely gonna need some white. So really just this white, blue, and turquoise are pretty much what they use for the sky. I've already got a white base on there, which is just a couple of coats of this. That's the blue I used. Let's get this blue because it's a little desaturated. Deeper blue I can use just as a quick accent if I need to. Gotta work pretty quick. These acrylics aren't going to stay too wet. I can spray at them, but that just makes the colors all run together. Not the greatest. Let's see if I can pop out at least the base, or at least the background elements of this whole thing. And then we'll... Yeah, so I don't really need the yellows. Yeah, I'm going to save the yellows. We'll see if I can just do the landscape and the background part. We'll add the details after it dries. Let's see what this other green is like. Not too bad. A little more forest green. Does not look like the label. We don't need browns and stuff out yet. Let me just get the sky going. All right, let's see what we can do. Comes the fun part. I think I'm going to use mostly this brush because it's got a good spread to it. And it's also got a nice point when it's wet. So most of them just have an unclear top, but because his chest is so open, I kind of defined it a little more clearly. And I think I'm just going to mix some wet colors right onto the surface and really go at it Bob Ross style. I think having it wet and mixing on the surface is kind of fun, and also lends to a nice brushy stroke look. Why is that wet? Alright, let's see what we can get here. So it looks like it gets a little lighter as it goes down to the horizon for effect. So I'm just going to go right into the white. Just go right onto it and watch the strokes mix right onto the surface. Layer it up a bit. It might need some kind of border. Let's get a little of this turquoise in there and see what happens. Waterier. Sometimes you gotta wipe it off. Go back at it. If I want them to mix more, I can just add a drop of water here and there. It's gotta be quick though. And if I put too much water, it's just gonna start peeling it up. So it's a kind of a game in figuring it out. Just trying to get an interesting blend with a little bit of a dark going down to a lighter blue, sort of matching what they do behind the sky there. All right, I think that's pretty good. I don't need to play with that even more. Let's see if we can do some happy little mountains here. I want it to be pretty thick. I'm really not sure what I'm doing. So let's just go. Making the one further back a little lighter. Interesting little layers of ground coming forward. So that looks very green and gray. So I'm gonna get I'm gonna brown it up. It looks mostly white too, so Let's see if I can come close to those colors. Probably did some sort of base. Let me see if I throw. Actually, I've already got brown out. Let me see if I can do it on the other one. Go with brown, turquoise, lots of white. Hey, not bad. That's pretty close. Let's see what the upper hill is going to be here. Seriously, with the hair. More white, more white. Yeah. Pretty close. Okay, and now we're going to go back into the dark pool, come from the other side. There's going to be lots of foreground elements and things hiding most of this, so it's really just about getting the backgrounds. All right. I know they didn't do white on the top, but I really want to try. Really want to try the old palette knife trick. I don't know. I'm just messing around. We'll see what happens. It's drying pretty quick, so I'm pretty happy with that laid down. I'm gonna do some of these green layers, maybe some cacti. Let's see, some of these other ones are really green. Lots of yellow and green in the sky. That's a little too much. Huh. Yeah, they're all a little different. I think I can get away with this. All right, let's get some happy trees. Oh, I can even do this. Pretend this is a palette knife. Let's have a feature tree over here. It's not really a palette knife. Yeah, need the brush. It's too small. Mm-hmm. Do the birds last. The little house. Let's get some green in here. Maybe a little more trees. One more tree over here. I mean, the perspective isn't perfect on all of this. Let's do a little. Let's wait on the trigger on the fence. I'm trying to add the final details last, in case I change color. All right, let's get some green in here, and we will need a little white. Let's see, they pretty much do the light source thing. So light's coming from the left. We're gonna get a bunch of whitey green on here. Put a little yellow in there. Oops. I'm just going to add more and more green. Work my way over. And throw a little dark blue in there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to touch that up again. Probably did it backwards, but I just wanted to see what would happen. It's pretty on par with what they got. All right, let's add some yellow greens in the bottom. Yeah, they got a lot of white and green and yellow. Having a few colors on the brush gets you that little happy accident blending going on. Getting closer. Alright, something's going on here. Alright, let's see if we can get a little sheeps and a little shepherd. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy with that little tree. I think we're getting there. Put out a few little bushes. That looks like they do a little grass. bits here and there. Little hints at little sticks or grass, whatever. Oh, somebody's asking why streaming. Well, I said it in a few of these earlier ones. I'm really just doing this so that I can get my own projects done, and if people get something out of it, that's great. May do some edits later, but for now, this is really just motivation for myself. And yeah, if people like it, great. But I'm only really teaching privately now, so this is gonna remain free. Might do a few more bushes and things. We'll see. Little hints of flowers. I think I'm still gonna do this little sheep. Okay. Thanks. All right, let's see what we can do with little sheeps on the hill, maybe. I mean, most of these aren't masterworks in perspective, but that's kind of the whole point. The style is a little flat and interesting, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting close to it. I'm not hating it. Still gotta add some accents here and there, but let's see what we can do with these little guys. Just little hints. Maybe a little, so we get a silhouette of a shepherd going. Let's see, on a hook. Make it look like he's walking in grass. Kind of like that yellow in there. I'm not sure what you mean by you wish me well, wish me the best in my endeavors. It sounds like you're letting me go. So if that's the case, sorry. Not sure what you expected. I'm pretty sure this is in line with what I've been doing this whole time. I posted those classes for free. They are unedited on purpose, and that's really the whole point, is to be a little different from what is out there. If you want time-lapsed or sock puppets or fun stuff, nothing against the Craftsman. I love that guy, but that's not what I'm doing here. I'm hoping people get something out of this, but I'm really not, you know, like it says in the description, there's no expectations here. I'm really just trying some things out, seeing what works. I've got a few different courses going, which is, I think, fun for different people, different levels, and, you know, it's free. Yeah, I like that. See, I'm adding little bits of colors on top. Look at that nice little transition. Cute little shepherd. Oh, I'm liking it. I like those trees. I like the mountains. Ooh, I'm not thinking I have too much left to do. Looks like the other ones have a little fence here and there. Let's see what we can do. It probably didn't need that. I am trying to busy it up a little bit on purpose, like the guy, or like these other ones are. Just trying to fill that in with a little something. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I wanted a shepherd. Got the little house. Pretty well in line with one of these. I could do a little more with flowers, maybe. Throw a few. Let's throw a few flowers and call it done. Now the trick is going to be not to go crazy with little dots. Let me see what they did on others. Oh, I see. All right, well, let's do a couple. Well, I kind of did that already. Got the grass and the yellow going. Let's just try a couple little dots, see what happens. Yeah. It's not really needed. All right, I'm going to call that done for now. Maybe come back to it. But here we are. Looking like we are pretty done with this guy and this set. So yeah, I might still clean up a few of these flowers on the back, but I'm going to say this series is pretty well wrapped up. We're at a good stopping point, and I'll take some pictures and maybe do a quick edit of you know, a follow-up for this to finish it off. But yeah, here we are. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, I look forward to starting the next series on some fun, exciting, different projects. So see you around, maybe.